Welcome back to Creators Network. I'm Pablo. I'm here with Laura Madrano, holistic health coach and homestead mom. Laura, thank you so much for visiting.
Thank you for having me.
If someone just met you, what does homestead mean?
Ooh, that's a great question. So, uh, I've learned so much over this past time about homesteading, and I never even knew that you can have the homestead without actually physically living on a homestead. And that's what I was creating for many of years until I finally manifested the homestead that I do live on currently. But I just feel like it's a way to be self sufficient, not depend on anybody else for your food, for your supplies, and just creating a place that you feel secure in, that you don't have to depend or rely on the grocery stores for food. And it's something that is obtainable and easy to do,
Mm-hmm.
even just for the person that lives in an apartment. So there's no excuses. And that's one thing I lead by, is that people can make excuses and live in victim mentality all day long, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just not necessarily the case.
Yeah.
So I'm big on, you can do it even in small spaces, and then those are the small steps you take to creating the life that you really dream of.
How long have you been living like this? Has it been something you grew up in or just.
Absolutely not.
No.
So I grew up in LA.
Okay.
So very populated, concrete jungle, and I always had a fascination for nature. And I thought it was so crazy that somebody like me could just live in the middle of the city and have this fascination for soil and dirt and not know why.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't make
Mm-hmm.
any sense,
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't grow up like that, but I just knew it was in my soul. But it took me a long journey, a long route, and that's the other thing. It didn't just take me from point A to point B. I had to take the long way around
Mm-hmm.
to finally come full circle. So
Mm-hmm.
I've only actually technically been living on a homestead for about a year.
A year. And how many acres of land in it? Is it a community or is it just you and your family?
It's a community.
Okay.
So there is a few of us that live on the property, and
Mm.
it's all spaced out between 46 acres.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It's a large space, and there's always work to be done, and there's
Mm-hmm.
always a lot of creative projects going on.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
there's just always something new for the week that we are working on, and we work together as a team, as a family, as a community. And that's what I love, because it's not just one person. When you think you can just complete the job yourself, that's not the way we're moving into in this world. I
Mm-hmm.
think we're moving into, everybody brings their gifts, their
Mm-hmm.
assets, their abilities, and then we create something special and magical based on everybody's participation.
Something that just came to mind? Have you ever seen The Walking Dead?
I know of it.
And where they're forced into a small location and they're doing like the same. They're making bread and trying to raise animals and growing vegetables, and everybody has a job
Absolutely.
in this community. So was it you guys came together outside of it and says, "Hey, we want to start this"? Was it something that was already going on, and then there's some kind of like application that you have to try to get on this property?
Yeah, so huge disclaimer. I don't own the piece of property. And I knew in my dream, in my like will, that I was like, I really know that I'm meant to live on a homestead community, but I didn't have the funds. I wasn't sitting on millions of dollars. I didn't grow up as a trust fund baby. I didn't have that in my bank. But I just knew it was in my timeline, like it was going to be in my future. And so I started doing the acts of it, just living in a townhome
Mm.
previously, and I started growing microgreens. I started making bread. I started realizing where my food was coming from, and that all happened in a series of years, through a process of like awakenings. Especially when I had my son, I was pregnant and I didn't want to feed him the commercial food that they
Mm-hmm.
make in the stores, baby food. I was like, I'm gonna make my own baby food, and I don't want to feed him the rice cereal that they're trying to promote. So I just started to kind of have these little subtle awakenings along the way, and that's kind of what led me into the health coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And I just come from a very holistic point of view, because I know food is medicine and it all comes from nature.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there's, big companies out there that want to make big money. And I'm trying to kind of show a different path,
Mm-hmm.
that we don't have to go that route, that it actually just comes from the earth.
Right.
Yes.
So if somebody wanted to live on a homestead, where would where would they start? How would they find a homestead or be a part of a community?
Honestly, I mean, I think everybody's path and journey is different, but if that's something that they're guided to do, start hanging out with those people.
Okay. Mhm.
Start networking. And I am a big social person, so I do love talking to people, and I just get out there and started meeting my tribe
Right.
because for so long, for so many years, I was trying to fit in somebody else's box
Mhm.
and it wasn't my tribe, it wasn't my people,
Mhm.
but I was trying so hard to conform, and then I ended up rebelling because I knew it wasn't me. And I now feel that I'm living in full like authenticity and living true to who I am, and I can wake up every morning feeling like knowing that I am true to myself.
Mhm.
Um, and if you're guided on that path, I mean, surround yourself with those people, that tribe. They're out there. They're looking for you too.
Right. Yeah. That's what I, like about spaces like these podcasts. It's so relatable to people that, and people have access to this and say, "Oh wow, that's just like me."
Yes.
And when we go through something in life, a lot of times, I know for me, just thinking I'm the only one going through this. And then you
Yes.
find out once you start talking to people, it's like, wow, you too. Yeah.
Yes, and that's like my permission slip for people because I'm not afraid to share my experiences, good and bad, because I've had plenty of both. And I'm not just here to say, like, oh, look at these are all the wonderful things I've done. I've actually gone down some really dark roads, and I have no shame in it because I know that can help guide somebody out of it because I was able to get out of it.
Hmm.
I did struggle with addiction. Having body dysmorphia, not having any self worth, and I just was attracting toxic relationships. And so it kind of just like it left me like, wait a minute, the common denominator in all of this is me.
Mm.
So there is something that I can do to change that. And
Hmm.
it's never too late. I mean, it took me many years, and I feel like sometimes I'm the Karate Kid. So this is a Karate Kid reference. So in the movie, like he's doing wax on, wax off, but he doesn't understand why he's doing it,
Right.
and he's just so confused. And he's like, "This is a waste of time. I can't believe I'm doing wax on, wax off." But then he realizes at the end in the tournament, like those skills have come in handy, and he
Mm-hmm.
like goes, "Oh, wait a minute, that's exactly why I did the brush up, brush down," you know.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And so now, like looking back at my struggles and those dark times, I'm like, oh, this is why I had to go through it because I had to live my story in order to teach it.
Mm.
So now I know why, because I'm not a memorizer of a textbook. I did not like school. I struggled on tests, not my jam. But I love lived experiences and being able to share those stories with people to share that will help them because I think those are more relatable, just like you said.
Right. Have you ever thought about writing a book?
So yes, I actually wrote a book.
Oh, you did. Good. Okay.
I did write a book, and I have it published on Amazon. It's just self-published. Uh, it the premise of the book was all about finding your soulmate, but it's not necessarily finding the one. It's about learning that you are your own soul's mate because you
Mm.
have to find it internally
Mm-hmm.
within yourself. So it's a simple like 7-step book of like how to do it. The outcome, and I'm sorry, I'm giving away the ending, is is basically you have to find it within. So it's not about searching out elsewhere, looking for outside validation. It's actually looking in the mirror, taking a hard look, and doing the work on yourself.
Right, because you can have a list of all the qualities you want in a person, and when you look at it, it's really like I have to become those things so I can attract that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, yeah.
yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always a work in progress. Like I'm never gonna say like, oh my gosh, I've mastered that. Um, or any, goal that I have in life. It just feels like it's another layer. It's something else that oh yeah, I've worked really hard on that and I've gotten to where I am and now I can share it with other people how to get there. So same with like the homesteading. Like I didn't grow up like that. So I just knew I had it in me and I knew like I was gonna master that someday,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm still learning things all the time. Like there's
Yeah.
I am not a gardener like come naturally. I do not have a green
They-
thumb naturally, but I've learned easy ways to like hack the system.
right. So going back on what you were saying before, if you're open to it, was there a time in your life that you really struggled that you had to overcome to kind of push you where you're at now?
Well, absolutely. I mean, there's a many of them, and I would think that the addiction to drugs and alcohol was
Mm-hmm.
like pretty severe. And I mean, I was functioning. I still had a job. I still like did my normal things, but it was like my hidden little secret,
You're
and
functional.
I was functional, but it wasn't good for me. Like,
Yeah.
and I was probably the thinnest I've ever been in my life, but I
Mhm.
was the most unhealthy and the saddest. So it's kind of like a broken rib, like you can't tell on the outside that somebody's like has a broken rib. They look fine, but
Right.
inside they're hurting. So that's why I try to not use judgment on other people walking down the street if they're having an outburst. It's like you don't know their story. You don't know what they're going through.
Mhm.
So during that time, uh, yeah, I think honestly, I think it was like a divine intervention that happened because I knew that wasn't the timeline or the path that I was supposed to take. I could have gone down that road and down that trajectory, but something in me, and that was one of my awakenings, was like, this is not for you anymore, Laura. And I woke up one day, and yes, I did a little bit of like counseling, rehab, therapy, but it was more me. It was
Mm.
more something that just activated in me that said I don't want to live this kind of life anymore, and this is not the path for me.
Mhm.
And I literally like snapped out of it and like
Really?
got sober, and it was like I looking back, I don't know how that happened. I feel like it had to be divine.
Yeah. Because it almost has to be just enough space for you to make that switch. Like just enough time to go by. Because it's you have routines, you have habits. When you
Yeah,
wake up in the mornings, like I know what every day is gonna look like, and it's part of those bad habits. And there's got to be that space where you just say, no, no more.
exactly. I
Yeah.
just cut myself off cold turkey and decided to take a different path.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's. I've heard this before. It's like if we choose to like want to lose weight or something, we not yet have made it non-negotiable.
Yes, and that's
Mm.
what it was. Non-negotiable. There was no way, and I've never looked back on that again, but I find value in my experience because I know what it feels like. So I have compassion and empathy for anybody else struggling going through their addiction. So I feel like, oh man, I can feel your pain because of my
Mm.
history.
Those are the kind of lessons you've learned from that experience is being more
Absolutely.
compassionate.
Absolutely. The compassion for sure.
Hmm.
Yes.
And so the one piece of advice you would give somebody going through that, going through an addiction, is there something that you could share, you could give?
I would tell them that their story isn't over yet,
Mm.
and their biggest struggle actually like the end result is their biggest strength. So like the further you repel back into the darkness or into something that's very heavy or something that's not on the negative,
Hmm.
the further you can expand and go towards the light. So it's like a rubber band, literally you're pulling as far back as you can to make yourself catapult further.
And did addiction run in your family?
No,
No.
I don't. I mean, possibly,
Yeah.
but but it wasn't a thing on the on the front.
Hmm.
I think it was more me not fitting into anybody else's container or idea. I never followed like the status quo, and I always thought different, and I would get reprimanded for that because it wasn't what we're supposed to do. And now looking back, it's like that's how tribe members
Mm.
survived. You had to follow the pack because if you strayed away, then you would get killed. So it's a survival mechanism,
Hmm.
which is I find completely fascinating that that's kind of what happened, and I had no idea that I was straying off of the pack
And
per se.
you're referring to your Native American background.
Yes, well, yeah, and I am, but I mean, just for anybody back in the caveman days, wherever their ancestors came from.
Yeah.
But yes, with me, I think it's a definite Native American lineage that I have with my paternal side. My grandfather, he's Native American, and he's the one that taught me like food is medicine.
Hmm.
You go out to the garden and get herbs, like if you're not feeling good or if you have a rash on your skin or any ailments, and I just feel like I carry that with me. And same with my grandmother. She was the one in the kitchen cooking all the time, and I would just peek over her shoulder and always like want to know how she's doing things in the kitchen, how
Hmm.
she's preparing food. So I just think that's just part of like an innate thing that and I follow it because it's like why, like if your for example, parents will say go be a doctor, go be a nurse,
Right.
but what if that's not for you?
It's
What
the
if that's not your path?
it's the pressures from the parents.
Yes, and I get it because they're in a survival state of their generation, and
Mm.
that's just what you do. You follow, what your parents did or whatever they suggest because of money and safety, and that's just not necessarily the case. I feel like you have to follow your heart. You have to follow the guidance of your intuition. And some people are like, I don't even know how to listen to my intuition, and that's where it takes a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. Being on a plant medicine journey, I realized how much there was a mother wound, and
Ooh, yep, I can relate.
definitely working on myself and seeing it from a different lens,
Hmm.
and thinking, why is it happening to me? Now it's like, oh, this is happening for me, and it just all comes, like you said, full circle to recognizing that,
Hmm.
and then sharing that experience with people, and so where they can maybe see it from a different lens. It's because it's all about perspective.
Absolutely. If you think it like your way is the only way to see things, then like that's not going to work for you.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I mean, I'm familiar with the mother wound. I mean, we all have it. Like we all have like different wounds, whether we carry it from our mother or father, from just life. Like maybe it could be like you got pushed off a swing when you were 6 years old. It could be the smallest thing, or it could be something huge. It could be
Mm-hmm.
something bigger. No judgment. It's just that we all carry those things later on in life, and they show up.
Yeah, I mean, just something a little personal that I'll say. I mean, my mom and my grandmother don't talk, and they haven't for years. And to think that, I could go on that amount of time not talking to my mom, no matter our differences,
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost like there's this, because I'm the parent, there's already like a, you should be talking to me no matter what,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
An inception.
And and it really, I mean, I don't know what's the true answer, but I think it does start with maybe the younger generation saying, I've watched what's happened in my ancestors,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to continue that.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you heal yourself, you heal above and below you.
Absolutely.
So for you, yeah, how many kids do you have?
I just have one.
You have one? Okay.
Just one and done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't want to have him carry the weight
Mm-hmm.
of that generational curse. And uh, I mean, going back to like what you said with plant medicine too, like that has been a helpful tool. And I always say it's not for everybody. So I'm not here promoting saying that that's something that you should go try or you should go do.
Right.
Um, I feel like it called me,
Mm-hmm.
and I answered the call,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't regret it at all. I think it was absolutely a wonderful experience
Mm-hmm.
to have. And, if you get the call, take it, answer it.
Definitely. I got the call a couple years ago, and it just so happened. Found a shaman, and just right place, right time, came together. And it's not a, overnight, like, oh, wow. It's like as you go on with life, I mean, even 2 years later, I'm just doing something random, just working on something, and all of a sudden it's like, aha.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And then they say when you're sitting with ayahuasca, when something presents itself, you question, why is it here? What are you
Mhm.
showing me? What I have to learn? And I feel like life is just like a big ayahuasca journey. It's
Yes.
like, this person showed up, and what are you here to teach me?
Mm-hmm. When a lot of people go walking along life unaware that that's even a thing, because every person, every place, every situation teaches you something.
Mm-hmm.
And to take that as value, like put it in
Mm-hmm.
your toolbox and
Yeah.
carry that with you as along your path, like I think that's the epitome of living like the human existence.
Right. I mean, we only met a week ago.
Yes.
And whenever I go to a networking event, I try to, there's so many people, you can get overwhelmed, and I try to leave at least with maybe two or three good connections
Hmm.
that we exchange information. It says, hey, we're going to be intentional about meeting up again later. And I feel like for you, I mean, I didn't even know Homestead was a thing. I
Yeah.
had no idea. And so now that's in my toolbox.
Yes. Well, and I felt like right back at you because like I don't necessarily share my story with just some strangers, but I do know that when I'm in a bigger crowd, I try to put the intention out that I'm going to meet the right person at
Mm,
at the right place, and we will provide value for each other because, like I said, it takes a community, it takes a village. It's not
mm-hmm.
just you doing it on your own and me doing it on our own. It's like it's a group effort.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think moving forward? What are your plans with this? Because I know you're a holistic coach. as well?
Yeah, so I teach kids, generally kids to middle school age, which I find absolutely fascinating because um, I feel like I get to be the voice that I needed at that age. You know, the coming of age, going through puberty, the hormones kick in, and kids end up being, they can go off the deep end. And that's kind of where I spiraled out of control. And I feel like I want to be the voice that I needed to help mentor me back, to guidance and where I needed to be. So I do teach gardening, nutrition, cooking classes, mostly through charter schools and homeschools.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's kind of my audience because like I said, I was never a scholar, but here I am being a teacher. So the irony there is kind of funny,
Mm-hmm.
but it's in a whole different way. It's in
Mm-hmm.
a whole different setting. So I feel like we're moving into that direction with more like community and homeschooling, and people are taking it into their own hands. You can't blame the school system if you're doing the work yourself, but it also takes a village of other people to help you with that because it's hard to do it on your own. So I do teach a lot of those topics, but then I also love to dip into mental and emotional health for teenagers because it is absolutely necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's something that's taught in public schools. And maybe if it is, it's just not enough that I feel like it's so important
Mm-hmm.
for kids to have those like emotional and wellness tools in their toolbox.
Yeah. So much I think needs to be in schools. I don't know what it, where they can integrate that, but just having emotional intelligence is
Absolutely.
so important. I feel, I'm 39 now, and things that I'm learning now, I wish I learned 10 years ago.
Right?
You know,
Right?
I think I'd be so much further ahead. But that was as far as my soul contract and my what I was meant here to learn. It's all supposed to happen
Yeah.
when it should.
And the timing, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can't be frustrated or upset like I wish I'd known this like 10 years ago that you were, supposed to learn it exactly when you were supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. I feel like along the way we gather all of this knowledge and I've learned more in the past 10 years than I probably learned my whole entire like school career growing up. So I feel like this past 10 years we have catapulted and just like really jumped off into like what is possible out there.
Mm-hmm.
At least I've experienced a lot more of that recently, and I just feel like we're on the fast track.
Mm-hmm.
But it's by choice. Some people maybe don't want to, or they're just maybe unaware, and that's maybe where I come in to plant the seed, pun intended.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So when people meet you, what is something you want them to remember about you? What is kind of like maybe a legacy, but also when people are just meeting you, just remember something about you.
I would say that I give them a sense of encouragement, and that I can give them a different perspective of, oh, I didn't think I could do that, or I didn't think that was possible, and I give them the ability to know that they can. So I'm like people's like natural cheerleader. Like I just want to like cheer people on, whatever it is that they want to focus on, and like whatever their gift is. It's like we need you. Like we need more of you in like our lives
Um,
to help bring like the community and society together.
hmm. I could definitely feel that unconditional type of. I know we just met,
Yeah.
and it's not every day you meet people where you could just feel like you can really tell your story and you get it,
And feel comfortable.
feel
Yeah,
comfortable.
I feel like everybody should just feel comfortable in their own shoes and feel safe and feel secure. And maybe that's a piece of me saying that I didn't get that when I was younger. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, I want to provide that for other people now moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you would else you might want to say about yourself as far as stuff that you can help people with? I know you said holistic coach. You also do
Yes.
Reiki.
I do energy healing, yes,
Tell
but
me
I
about
I
that.
infuse that into almost like everything I do on the daily because um I feel like it's an embodiment. It's not just telling people, "Oh, I have this degree or I have this certification." It's like, are you actually living it? Are you actually like putting it into your lifestyle? So, even with cooking, even with gardening, I mean, I will play high frequency music to my plants. I will,
Mm,
with my food, I will bless it like before we eat it. We process turkeys on the farm, and I make sure that they get a nice blessing and a nice prayer before, and being super grateful and thankful for them.
mm-hmm.
So I infuse my Reiki
Mm-hmm.
into. everything I do on the daily, even when I'm just driving in my car, to feel like safe, grounded, and protected.
Mm,
Because when it's my time, it's my time. But I just want to feel secure and grounded at that very moment that I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing.
yeah. Where can people find you?
Oh,
Is
so
is there a is there somewhere where people can see how you're living? Or I did see now if you don't want to share your personal social media, that's fine. But there was a post on there where I saw, was it your husband that was
doing
dunking the
my
turkey?
significant other, yeah, he was dumping, yeah, dipping the turkey. Yes. So on Instagram I have Laura underscore Madrano, which is my name, and I'm in the process right now of creating an online space to share more instead of just being local, because I want to get more outreach. I think I can help people that are, across the nation with, if it's with gardening, if it's with growing microgreens, if it's with cooking a recipe. And I love to keep things simple. Simple is best, because people love to overcomplicate things and you have to get all of these ingredients for a recipe. No, I want to keep it like simple, of something that somebody can do, and somebody, like, that's why I feel like I can give people the motivation that they could actually do something, because I want to make it easy. I don't like to overcomplicate things. So yes, on Instagram is where you would find me for any of that information, and I will be showing my online courses that I'm in the process of creating currently.
Oh, great. Awesome.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much for visiting us.
yeah,
It was
it's
a pleasure to
great.
have you.
Thank you.
This is Pablo, Creators Network, and thank you so much, Laura Madrano. We wish you the best in your future
Thank
endeavors.
you. Likewise.
Yes.